Have you ever found yourself saying, I'm fine, when you were absolutely, definitely not fine? Or maybe, I'll be there in 5 minutes while you were still, like, in your pajamas, staring at the closet. We've all been there, haven't we? Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging headfirst into the fascinating world of common lies. Not the really malicious, harmful kind, but those everyday social fibs we tell, all across the globe, actually. Our mission today is to unpack the most popular and common untruths. We've gathered insights from various observations. We'll be revealing their surprising universality and, importantly, how different cultural values kind of shape their unique local flavors. It's a really interesting look at the subtle, often kind of amusing social dynamics behind these very widespread deceptions. Yeah, this deep dive is built on a collection of sources looking at the geography of these common untruths, where they pop up and why. So let's unpack this. How many times have you said, I'm fine, when you absolutely were not? It really feels like the ultimate, most popular common lie around the world, doesn't it? What makes it such a global thing?
That's a great starting point. And what's really fascinating here is how universally this phrase acts as a kind of social shield. Think about it. It's polite, almost automatic, right? It lets you manage interactions without revealing true discomfort. It avoids more questions, protects feelings, or just keeps the peace, stops things getting awkward. It's often less about actual deception and more about just deflecting.
That social shield idea, yeah, that really lands. And it goes beyond just feelings, doesn't it? What about other common fibs, the ones that sort of smooth over interactions in a similar way?
Oh, definitely. We see this desire for smooth communication reflected in so many other common little lies. Take, I'll be there in 5 minutes, when you haven't even left the house yet.
Guilty.
Right, or that ubiquitous click on I've read and agreed to the terms and conditions, which, let's be honest, almost nobody actually does.
Absolutely no.
These are classic white lies, or you could call them social lies. They're not meant to cause harm. They're really designed to sidestep conflict, embarrassment, maybe emotional discomfort. And they stick around because universally people value what's called saving face, protecting your reputation, your dignity, and just keeping communication smooth.
Okay, so those are the sort of universal threads. But what happens when we zoom in on specific cultures? How do these impulses, to manage interactions take on unique colors, unique shapes when they're filtered through different cultural lenses? Let's maybe kick things off in Asia. The theme there seems to be very clearly harmony over honesty.
That's spot on. Yeah. In many Asian cultures, the foundation is often indirect communication, prioritizing group harmony. And especially that concept of saving face. And when we talk about saving face, particularly in more collectivist cultures, it's about maintaining not just your own dignity, but the respect and harmony of the whole group. A direct no or, revealing personal trouble could be seen as disrupting that harmony. It might even cause shame to the other person.
Ah, okay. So it's broader than just personal embarrassment.
Exactly. And you see it play out in specific ways. In South Korea, I'm almost there is incredibly common, even when they haven't left. And that famous, let's have a meal sometime, which often really means, nice talking to you, but this is goodbye.
A polite closing.
Precisely. Or, I won't drink today, which in South Korea almost inevitably leads to somak, that mix of soju and beer.
That's a brilliant example of a social fib in action. And in Japan, I'm okay, I'm fine, is often just politeness, right? Even when they're really not okay. Well, consider it.
Yeah.
That's usually a polite no, isn't it? Softened to avoid being too direct.
Exactly. And China has the classic, I'm almost there when still far away.
Okay.
And I already ate, a way to politely refuse food, even if you're hungry. Again, it's about not causing the host embarrassment or extra trouble.
Makes sense. What about India?
In India, you'll hear just 5 minutes, you're being that informal friend term, which, can easily stretch to 20 minutes or more. Time is often more flexible, and I'm on my way while still getting ready, or no problem, I'll manage, even if it's a huge issue.
Yeah.
It reflects this cultural emphasis on maybe resilience, not burdening others.
Interesting. And it echoes elsewhere, too.
Yeah, Vietnam, the Philippines, Thailand, they all echo that almost their lie. The Philippines even has last na to, meaning this is the last one. For drinks that are, let's be real, never the last one. It's about extending the good times.
Right.
And in Thailand, smiling and saying yes, even when you mean no, is pretty common. It's a way to avoid conflict, keep things pleasant.
So looking across Asia, I'm almost there, and I'm fine. Really are these Pan-Asian favorites, but with fascinating local twists. It definitely seems like that cultural emphasis on group harmony really shakes these little deceptions, doesn't it?
Absolutely. If you connect it to the bigger picture, you can really see how preserving relationships and just avoiding awkwardness is often the main reason. They're acts of social consideration, really, designed to smooth things over, maintain collective comfort, rather than just convey the precise literal truth.
Okay, so leaving that focus on collective harmony in Asia, we find a pretty interesting shift as we cross into Europe. The social landscape of these little untruths, it takes on a different character, doesn't it? Especially between the North and the South. What's that about?
Well, it really highlights a key cultural divide, I think. Northern Europe, places like the UK, Germany, Sweden, they tend to value directness, clarity, efficiency, often with a kind of quiet modesty.
Mhm.
But even there, social fibs exist. Of course they do. In the UK, it's that classic, I'm fine, thanks, said even when clearly not fine. But it's politeness, right? And a reluctance to burden someone.
Yep, heard that one a lot.
And let's have a catch-up soon, which rarely actually happens. Or saying sorry, even when you did absolutely nothing wrong. It's almost a social teletic, just acknowledging a minor bump.
So even with that preference for directness, there's still this layer of politeness, maybe efficiency driving it. Germany has it's no problem, even when it is a huge problem, perhaps, to seem efficient, capable.
Exactly. And I'm not drinking tonight, right
Right.
before the beers show up.
Mm,
In Sweden, we should fika sometime.
yeah.
You know, have coffee and cake. It's said a lot. But it's rarely followed up unless it's strictly scheduled, like weeks ahead.
So it's more a statement of goodwill than a real plan.
Precisely. Then you head south, France, Italy, Spain, Greece, and things generally become more relaxed, more expressive. And time. Well, time becomes more flexible, shall we say.
Flexible, I like that.
In France, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Je arrive dans 5 minutes, that can easily stretch to 15, maybe 30 minutes. And maybe pretending to understand English better than they do just to be accommodating. Or saying I'm not tired when clearly exhausted, maybe just to keep the good conversation going or seem resilient.
Italy's got sto arrivando, I'm on my way,
Right.
while they're possibly still at home finishing an espresso. And one last cigarette is famously never the last, or just a quick chat turning into a 2-hour conversation. That reflects valuing that spontaneous social connection, maybe.
I think so. Spain has estoy saliendo ya, I'm leaving now,
Mm-hmm.
which often means they're still putting their shoes on. And no pasa nada, it's nothing, even when it clearly is something. Downplaying issues to keep things relaxed.
Right, in Greece.
Greece has I'll be there soon, which could easily mean an hour later. And I'm on a diet, often said, while surrounded by incredible food, maybe just to politely fend off insistent hospitality.
And we should probably mention Russia, too, right? I don't drink, often heard just before the vodka appears.
Yes, or I'm okay, said in really serious settings, just maintaining composure. And the Netherlands, it's just a little rain. As they're biking stoically through a total downpour, it sort of embodies that practical, resilient spirit.
It's really fascinating how these same basic fibs, I'm on my way, I'm fine, let's meet soon, are clearly pan-European favorites. But the reason behind them and what they imply, it varies so much. And this brings up a really interesting point for you listening. How do these cultural leanings, whether it's about efficiency or politeness or social expressiveness, how does that actually influence the day-to-day interactions you have?
That's the core of it, really. It's about how people manage expectations and maintain social ease within their own cultural framework. So in cultures that really prioritize punctuality, that I'm on my way lie, might be a way to avoid seeming disrespectful of someone's time. Whereas in more, say, expressive or relationally focused cultures, it might just be a more optimistic, less precise interpretation of time itself. The social connection matters more than the clock. It's truly a window into what a society values, isn't it? And how they navigate those potential little friction points in daily life.
Okay, let's navigate across the Atlantic now to North America. Here, it seems like positivity and self-presentation are maybe key drivers behind a lot of the common lies. What does that tell us about the cultural priorities there?
You've really hit on it. Yeah, the focus often seems to be on individualism, optimism, valuing sounding confident, and sort of avoiding uncomfortable truths. In the U.S., probably the most popular lie is, I'm good, thanks. Said even when you're stressed, sad, overwhelmed.
All the time.
All the time. It reflects that cultural emphasis on maybe resilience, self-reliance,
Yeah.
not wanting to appear negative or burden others with your problems.
Absolutely. It's about keeping up that positive front. And then you have those social lubricants like, let's hang out sometime, or we should totally do lunch. Usually said more out of politeness, right? Not actual intention. It's a way to acknowledge someone, keep the vibe positive without a firm commitment.
Exactly. And timing lines are huge, too. I'm 5 minutes away often means, still in the shower.
Or haven't left yet.
Right. And I'm running a little late. That can easily mean 15, 30 minutes, sometimes more. It's just about managing expectations, buying yourself a bit more time.
And this extends into work, too, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. Work-related fibs, like I'll get to that right away, which usually means eventually or when I finish this other urgent thing. It's a way to sound responsive. And the classic, it's not about the money, which, let's face it, it almost certainly is, especially in a society where financial success is often seen as a big marker of achievement.
True.
And of course, the one we all do, clicking, I have read and agree to the terms and conditions, without actually reading a word.
Yeah.
Just a practical shortcut, really. Too much information.
I think we are all guilty of that last one. And what about shopping? It was on sale, justifying purchases, easing that buyer's remorse, or this is the last one I'm buying just before another package arrives. That's maybe more self-deception than social.
Could be both. And dating has its own set. It's not you, it's me. Which usually means it is you, but it's a gentler way to end things.
The classic gentle breakup line.
Right? Or, I'm just not ready for a relationship. Often followed by dating someone else next week, it signals a lack of interest in that specific relationship, usually.
And then there are those parenting lies. Santa is watching you. Or the gum one. If you swallow gum, it stays in your stomach for 7 years. Just trying to manage kids' behavior.
And Canada is very similar, but maybe with an extra layer of politeness baked in. The ubiquitous sorry, even when it's definitely not their fault. It's almost like a preemptive apology for just existing sometimes.
Yeah.
And no worries at all, even when there might be worries, just to reassure the other person.
So looking across North America, the really common ones are, I'm fine, I'm on my way, let's catch up, it's not about the money, and I didn't see your text.
Yeah, they all basically serve as these social lubricants, don't they? To avoid awkwardness, seem polite, buy time, reflecting that blend of sort of individualism, but also wanting smooth, positive interactions.
It's really clear that while the specific lies might vary, that underlying human impulse to just navigate the social world smoothly, that remains constant. And if we broaden our view just briefly, we see similar patterns, though maybe with different cultural drivers, when we look quickly at Africa and South America.
Absolutely. In many African cultures, for example, lies might be tied into things like respect, hierarchy, family image. You might hear someone say the elder isn't home, even if they are, as a way to manage access, preserve the elder's status or privacy. It can be about avoiding shame or community judgment in a more collectivist setting.
Okay, managing social standing.
Exactly. And in the warm, expressive cultures often found in South America, lies are frequently told to protect relationships or avoid conflict. Think I'm coming soon.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Even if it's much later, it prioritizes the enthusiasm for the future meeting. Or, of course I remember you. A friendly fib just to put someone at ease instantly. Maintain that warmth.
So there are often friendly fibs aimed at smoothing things over.
Very often, yes.
Okay, so bringing this all together, what really fascinates me is how these differences in common lies reflect such deep cultural values. We're talking about individualism versus collectivism, directness versus indirectness, how different cultures handle conflict, time, emotions. It's not just what people say, is it? It's what they don't say, and what that tells us about their societal blueprints.
That really hits the nail on the head. This truly highlights how knowledge is most valuable when you understand it and can apply it. These lies, they aren't just little quirks. They're genuine windows into cultural priorities. They reveal what a society values, what it seeks to protect, and how its people navigate the everyday social landscape. They're kind of a quiet testament to the intricate social contracts we all live by.
And that brings us towards the end of this deep dive. Whether they're universal, like I'm fine, or more culturally specific, these common lies serve as pretty essential social lubricants. They reflect shared human desires really for connection, for harmony, or sometimes just for personal ease. They're often less about outright deceit and more about skillfully navigating these complex social worlds we live in. So here's a thought for you to take away. The next time you hear, or maybe even utter one of these common fibs, will you think differently about what's truly being communicated? What silent social contracts are being upheld or maybe even challenged in that tiny, seemingly harmless little untruth? We really encourage you to observe these patterns in your own life, in your interactions. It might just spark a new understanding of your daily conversations.